my oncologist, the first thing that he said to the doctor of the insurance was, look, you took into account as a basis for your analysis data that are actually not fitting with the case, because they were looking at the death rates of people having triple negative breast cancer but without having had the treatments.
Hello, Giulia. Thanks for coming and accepting an interview with me on the ending of financial discrimination against cancer survivors. Could you please introduce yourself?
So yes, thank you, of course, for having me here. My name is Giulia. I'm Italian, but have been living here in Belgium for 8 years now. I'm a lawyer, and I can say that I'm a cancer survivor.
Could you explain me your history of diagnosis of cancer and what happened?
I was diagnosed with breast cancer, a triple negative one, third stage, in December 2018. And so I had to go through my treatments for the whole, more or less whole 2019. So from, let's say, January until June 2019. Then got my surgery in July, which thankfully was simply a tumorectomy, because I got a very good reaction to the treatments. And finally, I got more or less 1 month in September 2019 of radiotherapy. And so not even end of 2019, completely recovered from cancer, and also my doctor were very happy about the results of the treatments.
Very good. And did you experience some financial discrimination?
Yes, but actually it happened later. So I bought an apartment. It was end of 2021.
So that is 3 years after the diagnosis.
Exactly. And I asked for a loan, relatively small one. Of course, having a life insurance is not mandatory in Belgium, but in the end, let's say that it becomes mandatory as long as you want to benefit from a lower interest rate. So they gave me the conditions and so on. At the very beginning, there were no issues. They didn't ask me anything specifically linked to my health, apart from asking if I smoked, but actually that wasn't the case. So I got the loan, but then before, let's say, finalizing the amount that I had to pay, they told me, okay, but if you want to have the life insurance and therefore benefit from the lower interest rate, you have to fill in a form. So I filled in, and among the questions there was one relating to my last 5 years, asking me if I had experienced a serious illness. Among them there was, of course, breast cancer. So I said yes, indicated as the reference point my oncologist. They had to send him a questionnaire, a very detailed one, where they asked more or less everything about my cancer. So again, he had to tell them about the type of cancer, the diagnosis, the type of treatment, and my doctor said that everything was fine and that I perfectly reacted to everything, treatment, surgery, and so on. But after 1 month, the insurance company linked to my bank answered to my request for the insurance, saying that they couldn't insure me because I was at risk of premature death, which was quite,
frightening.
Yes, because you're like 32, I was 32, 33 at the time, and someone says, you're gonna die tomorrow, more or less, or there is this risk. And you say, well, not really. I'm doing my regular checks. Each time they told me everything is perfect. So I said, okay, what can I do? And in the answer, there were like 2 possibilities. They tell you, if you want more information, you can ask. And if you want, you can also put your doctor in contact with our internal let's say, doctor, the one of the insurance. And there is also the possibility to challenge the decision before the Bureau du Suivi. So I said, okay, let's do it. I'm a lawyer, I can do it. So firstly, I put the two doctors into contact, and at the same time, each time that there were like exchanges of correspondence, I sent them to the Bureau du Suivi so that I could like try both paths in parallel. My oncologist, the first thing that he said to the doctor of the insurance was, look, you took into account as a basis for your analysis data that are actually not fitting with the case, because they were looking at the death rates of people having triple negative breast cancer but without having had the treatments, while in my case they should have taken into account completely different data. So he showed to the insurance company that in people having had a very good reaction to the treatments, the survival rate is very high, more or less similar to the one of people having a, let's call it, normal cancer, so non-triple breast cancer. We can think more or less it was, I think, 80–90% rate of survival rate. But the answer of the insurance in the end was, look, we insure based on classes. So you fit just in this box, more or less that was the answer. We don't care about your personal situation. I provided, again, in parallel, all this information also to the Bureau du Suivi. But again, even in that case, they analyzed the case twice, but each time it was always, no, we agree with the insurance, so you can't be insured in the end.
But it's showing the importance of assessing the mortality rate on actual data. This is really important because we are making so much progress in the treatment that all the data needs really to take into account all of those progress. I think it's really important.
Yeah, the data used by the insurance company were also from 2010, something like this. So I also said they are quite old. So in more than 10 years, there have been so many new treatments, and the research is so quick. I understand the, let's say, first answer. So they just look at the questionnaire, see, okay, this is your situation, we cannot insure you. But then if you say, yes, okay, but again, I'm a lawyer, so it's, for me, it's a rebuttable presumption. So I should be in the position to rebut it. So I provide you the evidence. If the evidence is contrary to what I'm saying, you can totally confirm your first assessment. But if I'm showing you that the situation is completely different because you have to look at my personal situation, so then you should change your mind and say, okay, look, yeah, that was my first assessment, but in light of the data that you provided and in light of your specific situation, we can actually change our first assessment. I think that this is how it should go. Sometimes my point is also, I have a legal background, so I know how to challenge this kind of answers, even if in the end it didn't work a lot, but at least I try. But sometimes my question is, people not having this type of background, which is totally normal, what they're supposed to do, to pay a lawyer? I hope no, because in the end, if they try, then they fail. Or simply they just get the answer and say, okay, I can't have an insurance, and so I don't know, interest rate 4% or something like this. It's very difficult. I mean,
thank you for your testimony. I think we are on good track, and now there are 6 member states in the European Union who have such a legal framework, and your testimony is clearly showing that there is a need to still improve the situation.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks.